One of North Carolina's largest mainstream media outlets recently took a shot against the state's Opportunity Scholarship Program. Dr. Robert Luebke writes about it in a John Locke Foundation research brief. And Bob, you just say this is par for the course for the News and Observer. They don't like the Opportunity Scholarship Program, but you wanted to correct the record.
Yeah, this is actually part of a concerted campaign by the left and also media organizations, basically, to bring down the Opportunity Scholarship Program, which has been in existence since 2015. The left doesn't like it. It provides scholarships to low and moderate income kids, and they're doing everything they can to get rid of it.
One of the things that you note at the outset is that editors at the News and Observer talk about their concerns for the poor and the disadvantaged, which makes it especially interesting that they don't like this program that targets those groups.
Yeah, that's exactly my point, Mitch, that the editors there always are saying that, we need to be sensitive to the concerns of the poor, we need to provide quality educational opportunities, etc. And the Opportunity Scholarship Program does exactly that. Parents are satisfied. The program's growing. It's got good results, yet at the same time, they have this hate fest against the program for reasons which, they lay out and I quibble with in the paper, but it makes no sense why they continually call for additional help for the poor, especially access to educational programs, but at the same time, they harangue against this program, which does exactly that. It does nothing but just call attention to their own hypocrisy.
Let's talk about some of the specifics. One is this constant call that the program lacks accountability. You take that head on.
Yeah, that's a steady drumbeat of people that criticize the program, and basically that's just simply not true. Opportunity Scholarship schools have to comply with various health regulations, safety regulations, non-discrimination regulations. They also have to comply with a number of financial regulations. Any school that has more than $300,000 in scholarship recipients have to abide by certain financial regulations. There are also academic requirements. Progress reports have to be given to parents and also filed with state offices. Standardized tests have to be administered. So this notion that there's simply no accountability just simply isn't true.
Plus, you've already mentioned the P word, but there's this extra level of accountability that you don't see in a traditional school, and that is the parents.
That's right, and I think that's the real kicker here, that there really is parental accountability. If parents were satisfied and felt the same ways that editors do, they'd leave. But if you look at the numbers, the program's growing. Why? Because people are satisfied. Students are satisfied. That's the real form of accountability here, is parents. And parents are satisfied. Schools have to be responsive. If schools aren't responsive, parents take their students and their tuition with them. So that built-in responsiveness, that built-in linkage, that schools have to serve students is really highlighted here, and parents like what they have in the program.
Beyond parents themselves, you also point to some polling data that show that the Opportunity Scholarship Program has a lot of support, and it's not just among Republicans, and it's not just among white parents. It has widespread political and demographic support.
That's right, Mitch. We poll on the Opportunity Scholarship frequently, the program itself, and most recently in January. And as you stated, support for the program is strong and wide. 66% of respondents in a January poll supported the program.
2 to 1.
2 to 1. When we broke that down by political registration, it was about 71% of Republicans, 61% of Democrats, and 67% of unaffiliated supported the programs. Also, what's important to note is 71% of African Americans support the program. So it's strongly supported by all people of political affiliation, and it's got strong support.
I want to tackle one more topic before we wrap up, and that is another constant complaint about Opportunity Scholarship programs Opportunity Scholarship Program is that it robs money from the traditional public schools. You tackle that issue as well.
Yeah, that's a constant complaint, and I tried to actually just look at the numbers. Editors had mentioned that since the program was started in 2015, it was roughly about $150 million that the program has been funded with state dollars on. If you look at the actual total funding, for the public schools since 2015, it's about $63 billion. Okay, so if you divide that out, that's about 24 1/100ths of 1% of public school funding is attributable to the Opportunity Scholarship
You
program.
might even call that a rounding error.
Well, I wanted to be specific on that. So, you tell me. You tell me. Is there a lot that's being robbed there? I think it's a point that has no evidence. It's unsubstantiated, and the numbers that are marshaled simply don't make the point. It's just not worth debating.
If you'd like to learn more, including more on the debate about this issue, the research brief at the John Locke Foundation's johnlocke.org website is Editors' Feeble Complaints Against the Opportunity Scholarship Program Say More About Them Than the Vouchers. Its author is Dr. Bob Luebke. He is the Senior Fellow at the Center for Effective Education at the John Locke Foundation. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mitch.